they're going to be distributing in June. So we figured we'd go for 1 month, and then we will have them delivered.
All right,
Yeah.
very cool, thank you.
Thank you.
You're gonna, excuse me, Jerry, you're gonna have boxes or something?
There are boxes. There's one out here in City Hall, and there's one at Safety Tire, one at Gulfport Storage, who donated the boxes for us, and there will be one at Smoke and Jay's. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes. Well,
I'm sorry.
that's okay, go right ahead.
Oh, okay. My name is Elizabeth Riggs, and I live on 57th Street South. And I'm here with some of my wonderful neighbors. We're all kind of in the same area. I'm here to speak to the council about the problem that has been occurring with people
Could you get
camping.
closer to the microphone?
Sure. There are overnight campers in the beach parking, you know, where all the papers are and so forth. And I had already sent an email to both Ms. Brown and Ms. Lanos to ask what could be done. Today, of course, we were all shocked to find out that there was somebody dead in one of these vans. Maybe you already know about that. Nonetheless, it's becoming more and more of a problem. And I did get a response from both of you and also from the police chief, who says that overnight parking is not allowed in the beach parking area. However, I can't find any signs that prove that.
We can,
The signs are going up tomorrow morning.
Oh, they are, okay. So, is anyone in a position to update me on what maybe we're gonna do about
well, the city manager can address any of these things at the end of public comment, that he wants to address on the spot. Other than that, he'll follow, somebody on staff will follow up with you after the fact, whoever's the most appropriate person.
Okay. It's just, it's a bad element, that's the bottom line. And they come, they go, but we see some of them repeatedly. So I greatly appreciate your help on that issue.
Thank you. Yes. I didn't forget, sorry.
Mayor Henderson, members of the council, as you're all aware about, you're well aware I am former veteran officer Jonathan Ross, the Gulfport Police Department. And recently resigned from my position
Yeah,
for
from C's.
continual
Probably gonna use the
harassment
microphone.
and undue stress related to my injury. Since we have settled my federal lawsuit, I felt I'd never have to address any additional concerns to you or the public, but I was once again left without a choice. On March 31st, 2022, I submitted a public records request to our records department indicating I needed a letter from the United States Coast Guard saying how many marine hours I incurred during my tenure for future employment as a boat captain. I offered to pay for these services as any citizen would need to pay if such request is made. Within a short period of time, your police chief, Robert Benson, responded via email advising under Chapter 119, it does not require records be created and only supply me with 2021-2022 marine logs. He further commented in his email he had no intentions of writing a letter as I requested. I never asked for his assistance in this matter, but he chose to intervene nonetheless. What Chief Vincent fails to understand is that I'm no ordinary citizen, as I know what documents are actually available. Chief Vincent directly lied to me in his email and insinuated I wanted him to create documents that did not exist. Prior to my resignation, copies were made of the marine logs which date back to my hire date. Chief Vincent would lead you and citizens to believe that he forgot about those hard copies. However, don't let him fool you. For the past 8 years of my employment, he has sent the city manager a report on a weekly basis, which has indicated how many marine hours have been inducted. He clearly is making this a personal attack towards me and appears to abuse his power without any checks or balances. How many other citizens have placed public records requests for which he has intervened and either altered or denied the request to the
I'm
information?
gonna stop you, I'm not gonna take your time from you. Don't disrupt the meeting, folks. You can have a seat, you can be peaceful, Stick with the decorum, all right?
Request
No, no, no.
information because he has no oversight. This needs to be stopped and only can happen with your assistance. I ask you, the council and mayor, intercede and have a records clerk or my former Marine sergeant provide me with what I've requested. Again, I do not have any issues with paying for this documentation. However, if they are not received, this directly affects my future employment and earnings, which will require me to seek legal counsel once more. I do not wish this, but I will not tolerate my future being sabotaged by an unprofessional organization such as this. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Yes. Sorry, I passed you up before.
Aaron Schwartz, Deloitte Avenue South in Gulfport. As I was riding my bike here, I passed the dog park, and it's closed for resodding. I'd like to suggest that we do something besides resodding it every now and then. You know, my backyard doesn't look like much, but stuff grows, okay? It's a lot of weeds, it's a lot of things that bees and butterflies like, and probably dogs would like it too. I don't understand why we can't let the dog parks go back to nature and just let the dogs roam around on what will grow there naturally. That's all.
All right, thank you. Yes, front row.
Mayor, Council, thanks for taking this here. I want to remain anonymous and do a public records request with you at this time.
You have to do a public records request with the
It can
city
be
clerk.
taken by any member of the city here and it can be forwarded to them. The records request I'd like to get is an acuraamandaproductions.com deletion log. And what that is, just to explain it to you, is that it shows a trail of any videos that have been deleted in the police department system. And if you want, I will give you the case number for the evidence.com, which is going to be GP 1822859. So I'd like to have the evidence.com audit trail that shows any deletion of files pertaining to that case in evidence.com. Normally, normally what we can do to find a lot of corruption and theft is pull credit card records and things like that from departments. But from what I'm hearing and I'm learning about is that the man was charged with a felony. The video corroborates a totally different story, and that it was deleted at some point in time, even though probably is outside or inside of that retention period because it was a felony. Maybe need to be 5 years based off of an appeal, and from what I'm learning is that it was deleted because it shows allegedly some actions from either the chief of police or something like that that shows total opposite of what was written in the report. So I'd like to see it when that was deleted, who deleted it, and how was that. So that could be forwarded on to your clerk, and that's all I'm done.
She is right here.
Give you contact you need or?
I'll give you an email. I'll send you an email. All right, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for public comment? Yes. Hi.
I'm Jacob Titus. I live at 53rd Street South.
And I'm Dominic Medina.
We're going to be filming a movie in Gulfport at the end of this month. We have submitted documents for permits, and we just wanted to come and say hi to you all. We had a gabber write up on Thursday.
Yes.
And there's going to be a lot of commotion down there on 21st, 25th, and 28th. So I just want to give you all a heads up.
Yes, but our team met with Mr. O'Reilly, and it looks like everything is good to go, but we just wanted to ensure the good citizens that we will be causing as minimal obstruction as possible. We won't be shutting down the roads, we won't be having people park along Shore or Beach Boulevard, we're not gonna have any big production trucks. You will definitely see us on those days near the Gulfport Casino. We will be hard to miss because of our set and our stage, but if you guys have any issues, concerns, or questions, feel free to approach us at any time.
Welcome to town and good luck.
Thank you.
Oh, all right. Yes.
Good evening. I would just like to be identified as a concerned citizen. I have some problems with things that have happened here in Gulfport that I've witnessed over the last 2 years. You've heard some of the issues addressed here. My problem is that with this police department having 2 members on the CLIA board, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but there's a certification board for law enforcement agencies around the state. Chief Vincent and Josh Stone, Commander Josh Stone, are both on that board. And what we've done, not just in this state, but around the country, is test agencies, law enforcement agencies, for their transparency. Asking them for police complaint forms in their lobbies so they're readily available for somebody who has suffered a civil rights injustice, not having to confront another police officer, just making it readily available for people. That's something that we've done in South Florida, all over Florida and other states, and everyone has fallen in line and complied with that, except here. There is no formal complaint process that you can go through. You have to go through the Pinellas County Sheriff's Office. When I first got here about a year ago, I asked Commander Stone for that complaint form, and he advised me that it's confidential. It would be if it was filled out with me and my attorney in our complaint. That's when it becomes confidential, when it's under investigation. But a blank form, that's just an obstacle that they were putting in front of us to stop transparency. And I think it's hypocritical for those two officers to go around and other agencies who have complied with this easy process and not have it here in their own department. Perhaps you, as a commission, can correct that bad behavior. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Coy, how you doing?
Make sense?
Not true, but sure.
Corrupt.
Thank you very much, and I hope everybody is healthy and well.
Not true.
Find out. My subject tonight is going to be a happy one. So what I want to talk about is, you may remember, I think 4 or 5 months ago, I talked about the plastic bags to benches program. And I don't want to get into the details, but this, my little paper here will kind of tell you what's going on. The Gulfport Lions Club has been working with a member of the Trex Community Challenge. Some of you may have heard about Trex. It's a company that makes outdoor furniture. And it's the company that promotes this particular thing that we're doing. The Lions Club just received our 5th park bench from Trex. And we've already donated that to the city.
There's nobody there and no
I don't
forms.
know where it's gonna end up, but you folks are always very good at finding a proper spot for it, so. The first 4 benches that we received have also been donated to the city. And they are located in spaces already, or locations. These are outside of the library, rear entrance to the Catherine Hickman Theater in Veterans Park, in front of the Lions Club. So again, this 5th one will be somewhere to be announced or determined. Now, a little bit on the program itself. To win a Trex Bench Community Challenge, we have to collect over 26,000 plastic grocery bags over a period of 5 months. Just think about that. You know, you pick these things up at the grocery store and you collect some of them, you may have 15 or 20. We have to collect 20,000 from people in the city who have, many of who don't even know what this program is. A lot of others who do, and they do donate their plastic. So we want to thank many Gulfport citizens and the South Pasadena Ace Hardware organization who contributed to this win. They generated the material we needed to put our information in and find out if we won the challenge, and my gosh, we did. So, and I also want to take a few minutes or a few seconds to thank also Gulfport City Manager Jim O'Reilly and his great team who supported this Lions program. Jim was involved with us when we first brought this to the office here and said, Jim, is there a problem if we put up a number of bins in certain locations, some public, some not? And the bins kind of self-announce themselves. They say, this is what we would like you to put into the bin. Okay. Want me to continue? I'm almost there.
Yeah.
So that's the brief story. The program continues, and right now we have entered that program for the 6th bench. And we'll find out in 5 months whether we win. And guess where that goes? To the city. So, just one thing I also want to bring up. We have only a limited number of bins, and we do have a couple more in stock, and we will be getting more on this particular branch of the program. The collection bins that we have now are located inside the library front entrance, the entrance to the senior center, and outside of the Lions Club front door. We need to get more bins out so people can use them, fill them, and help us get the numbers. So just a comment for everybody and also the people listening behind me. If you have any ideas where we could or should place an additional bin for collection of plastic, please email me, and I've got a few handouts here that got my email on there. And you know, that would be a big help for us to make this thing grow. The bins aren't waterproof, and they need to be located outside an outdoor protected location. That's the only requirement, otherwise there'll be a puddle in the bottom, so.
Is that ours out front?
I think
The
it
plastic
is.
one you got out front, is that ours? I just noticed it today.
Yeah.
That's the
I
line.
think there's one, it used to be
So
indoors.
next time everybody comes to these meetings, stuff all your bags into one bag
Yeah.
and bring them and drop them in that box.
Yep.
It just creates more benches around the city.
Thanks, Joe. Thanks a lot, Bud, and thanks for yielding your time to Mr. Coyne.
That's my buddy.
Thank you very much. We're gonna roll through public comment.
Oh, I had a question for you.
Yep, we're gonna do that after we do the public comments. You'll have to make that contact.
They said you're gonna wait.
Yep, we gotta move on with public comment, Mr. Coyne. Thank you, though.
Okay, I
Yeah,
will
catch up.
I'll go back and see. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yes.
Thank you. So it's been 3 years in a sense since we've been complaining about racial discrimination. I've gone through your records and your videos. Apparently this has been a discussion since prior. Not one of you have done anything whatsoever to assist in resolving any issues. Not one of you have ever sat down and just have a conversation with anyone. Instead, you continue to keep using your resources to retaliate against people. I was just in doing an audit last week, or I'm sorry, in February, and your chief of police assaulted me. This is in the middle of this council meeting. But then now you've gotten this in the city attorney writing fictitious letters stating this and that I was told multiple times this and not to be in that area. That's not true. The only time this and I was told not to be in that area is when I recorded this in his tablet, which is protected this under my First Amendment rights. If he does not want this in his tablet or any other devices he owns and recorded, then just don't bring it into a public area. Go outside, do whatever you need to do, come back in, and be done with it. But for him to have placed his hands on me, and then went ahead and policed himself after, then utilizing, again, more resources and to avoid being incriminated on cameras, telling his officers to turn off the cameras, consistently muting stuff, reaching out to the communication dispatch centers and telling them, they said not to take any offense report, threatening his officers, by the way, and telling them they took an offense report and they said that they would have something coming to them. I still to this day have not been able to file charges, and city attorneys, and I would love to know this, and where it is documented, what video did you watch where he explained or told me several times, stop interrupting me. I would like to know this, and where exactly this and was the video or whatever evidence. Again, stop interrupting me. Stop interrupting me. You do that every time someone speaks.
Calm yourself down.
No, I don't need to calm myself down. It's 3 years since worth of bullying. I'm tired of it. Restore our rights. Stop violating them and stop covering up shit that's happened in this town.
Well, there you go. Now you.
Okay, that's not against FCC regulations. Look it up. It's not.
Thanks, Mr.
Time to go.
Yes, Mr. Pella.
Time to go.
I'm not being asked to leave. I still want to stay for my council meeting.
What's the verdict?
The word shit is not against FCC regulations.
I think you're being asked to leave.
Please don't put your hands on me.
Then leave.
Don't put your hands on me.
Bye.
You corrupt piece of shit.
I'm Lisa Pella. I live in Gulfport. I wanted to comment on the community conversations lady. For those with long memories, in the past you've had two types of visioning experiences. One, several years ago, we had